Hi everybody and welcome to Wild Music. I hope you're all well. Some of you may already have realised that my upload yesterday of Angelina Jordan singing Nothing Breaks Like a Heart got blocked after about an hour or two. Some of you got to see it and some of you got to comment and like, and thank you for all of your comments and likes and even just views. I'm sorry if you didn't get to see it. And that means I'm going to do another video of Angelina Jordan singing I Have Nothing, the Whitney Houston song. So I'll give you a bit of background on Angelina. This is the same as what I did yesterday. So if you saw the video, it is the same, but obviously information on the song and performance and my talk about the song will be different. So anyway, here we go. Angelina has had a passion for music from a really, really young age. And this has been evident through the success she had at Norway's Got Talent. And this actually attracted record numbers of TV viewers. She also made appearances on some shows that are quite high profile, such as Little Big Shots and The View. Also, she was chosen by Avicii in 2016 to perform on his Volvo commercial campaign, and Angelina performed Nina Simone's song, Feeling Good. I'm sure I'll get to do a reaction on her singing that at some stage in the future. Angelina also has her book that she wrote and has been published that was illustrated by her grandmother, Between Two Hearts. Angelina is actually Norway's youngest published author, I believe, or I'm pretty sure I've read that. I would believe that too. So also Angelina's had her own YouTube channel for some time in which she uploads music, and as we know, she's recently been signed to Republic Records. So hopefully we'll get to see and hear some of her music that's produced through Republic in the near future, and look forward to that. So, this song, a classic, a power song, a very difficult song to sing, I Have Nothing. It was written by David Foster and Linda Thompson. So, most of us have heard of David Foster, and some people will have heard of Linda Thompson as well. David Foster is a Canadian producer and musician, etc. And he's produced many huge artists. Many. Great composer too. Linda Thompson is also a fantastic lyricist and songwriter. She's American and was a longtime friend of Elvis Presley. She was actually married to David Foster at the time of writing this song as well. It was recorded by Whitney Houston in 1991 and was a huge hit. It was released in 1992 on the soundtrack to the film The Bodyguard. It's a song about deep love and confusion that occurs to lovers because of different perceptions of women and men when considering commitment to one another. That's the sentiment behind the song and the meaning behind it, at least. Some other hits Whitney had from The Bodyguard was I Will Always Love You and I'm Every Woman. This song, I Have Nothing, was promoted at the time with Whitney's worldwide tour, the Bodyguard World Tour, and this she delivered in 1993 and 1994. This version, with Angelina singing it, was uploaded to YouTube to Angelina's channel on March the 12th, 2019. So she possibly recorded this just a bit before that, I would imagine. So anyway, let's hear Angelina singing I Have Nothing.
Share need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stand your fire, leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You see through right to the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. Oh, I never knew love like I know with you. Where the memories survive. Oh, I can't hold you. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. Passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I remember forever. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stand your fire, leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stand your fire, leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You
Oh, well, what can I say? That was so impressive. Angelina sang that with such emotion. That's a very powerful song. I love that song. And I absolutely love Angelina's interpretation of the song. That was obviously a very well-known song, and most of us will have heard Whitney Houston's version and other versions that Whitney did live, because Whitney would vary her performances each time. But this was Angelina's own version of the song, her own performance, as I said, with such powerful emotion. She's delivered this song, and the meaning and the power of the meaning, as well as the power of the vocal performance, obviously, to this difficult song so brilliantly. That was so impressive. In true Angelina style. Impressive in every manner. She is the complete package. She's such a nice person, and you know, this shines through with each of her performances and her clips and everything else that she does apart from just performing songs. You know, she's a very humble person. I've seen quite a few interviews of Angelina. Very humble and very appreciative of the support that she has worldwide, I'm sure. So, wow, let's get into it. There's the introduction, and then about 20 seconds or so in, we have Angelina's brilliant vocals. And what I've noted here is you can hear right from the beginning Angelina's back phrasing, and this comes with part of her own phrasing, her interpretation, and she has this back phrasing that works brilliantly. And the other thing I noted is she enters the song with such confidence, sensitivity and sincerity. Brilliant. Let's hear it. Let's hear Angelina right from the beginning again.
Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you.
Yes, and just the way she ended that phrase, if we're going to go down to fine details, the word you, she's tapered off at the end there so brilliantly. So a phrase that's performed or sung is how you start and how you end. So the end, what I'm getting at is the end of a phrase is just as important as the beginning of a phrase. And obviously how you execute the phrase throughout as well. But the end is so important. And that is where vocalists who really polish, or instrumentalists for that matter, polish their performance. You can really hear the ends of the phrases as well as the beginning and the rest working so beautifully well. And that is the case with Angelina. Let's go back to the start. I want to play it right from the beginning again so we can hear this. And again, as I said, Angelina's confidence right from the beginning, but also sensitivity and sincerity shines through.
Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you.
Beautiful.
Take my love, I'll never ask for too much, just all that you are and everything that you do.
And again, on the word do, she's got that beautiful touch of vibrato. She also used all my colours for you, the previous phrase, on the word you. Just a touch of vibrato. Again, just a sprinkling, just a tiny bit. That just decorates the performance and colours it. Doesn't overshadow anything. It's not a fancy trick. It's like when you colour in a picture. You try to colour in between the lines. You try to get rid of the white space between the coloured, let's say you're colouring in pencil. And you get the different shadings and so on. But getting the colouring in correctly and having the final touch of the shadings, and, you know, some places you might go darker around the edge and lighter in the middle. And these shadings, I suppose, are equivalent to things like vibrato, but also dynamics and so on. And the better the colouring in, the more polished it is the equivalent in music in terms of sound. So the auditory aspect of it, it polishes it. Let's go back a bit.
Ask for too much, just how they you are and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close my door.
I'll come back to the start of the chorus again. I just wanted to say you can hear, again, Angelina's brilliant phrasing and the back phrasing in those last few phrases. And it's also the way she blends each phrase into the next. Sometimes there's a break or a rest in between phrases. Sometimes there's not. But each time she's blending it and matching one phrase to the next. So it fits together then, instead of talking at smaller units, the phrasing, well, the notes are the smallest unit, then you've got the phrases. But after that, you've got like the sections, the verse or the chorus or the bridge, depending on which part of the song. So this is the verse. Or there's a bit of a pre-chorus in this song, like a section that you have the verse, then a section. That's how I view it anyway. The pre-chorus that comes before the chorus. So sectionally, that's when you're looking at a bigger level. Then you go to the whole song and look at it as one entity. So you're always looking at the musicality. As I said in the last video that was blocked, musicality in songs is so important. Are you saying something in the song? Does it have meaning? Musically, is it a good choice to put a bit of vibrato in here or there? Of course, there are many ways that would work and would be good or tasteful. And each performer chooses their own places to put in vibrato and to phrase a certain way. But overall, it's got to be musical. So that musicality is something Angelina does brilliantly. And that's why she communicates the song so well. All right, let's get into the chorus. I could talk all day on Angelina's performances, but we better keep moving. So here we're into the louder dynamic level. And Angelina is belting in this section because in this song, the chorus is belted. And Angelina does this with such pitch accuracy as well. Let's hear it.
Again, this passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close my door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Then you might leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing if I don't have you.
So, quite a few things there. She's pulled back dynamically at the end of the chorus because that's how the song goes. And that's part of telling the story, that dynamic variation. And Angelina's runs there are so nice and so accurate pitch-wise, but also just so tasteful and musical. Also, her intensity in that chorus was there. She was belting it out, and just did such a brilliant job. What can I say? It was so musical. All right, now we're into the next verse. And Angelina's gestures she's using with her hands in the song, again, works so well. Again, she hasn't overdone it, and they're so tasteful. They're just there when they're needed or to enhance the performance, but not to take over the performance. But this is where Angelina's adding in the theatrical nature of the song, and she does this so well.
You see through right to the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love.
Yes, and you can hear Angelina employing some raspiness in this verse as well. And again, not overdone, just to a great extent, just very tastefully chosen and placed.
You break down my walls with the strength of your love. Oh, I never knew love like I'm now with you. With the memories survive. Oh, I can't hold you.
See, there's an example of Angelina using her own stylistic choices, and it works so well. It's just her choice. This is her song, her performance. Again, she's interpreted it at a very mature level, actually, considering her age when she performed it. But it's no barrier to Angelina. She has wisdom beyond her years, and it's evident with all of the songs that she performs that have quite adult themes. Angelina does this well. That's no barrier to Angelina.
Love like I'm now with you. With the memories survive. Oh, I can't hold you. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. Smash inside. Can't run from the set. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I remember forever.
Yes, and that pre-chorus is very rhythmic as well. It's great, and it can be interpreted a number of ways. Angelina does it so well in her own style. And then we've got, in the song, this extension at the end of this pre-chorus with an extra forever and ever. It goes again. And that builds up drama and suspense in the song and works so well. So here we come into Angelina singing the chorus again.
Don't make me glad over the I don't wanna hurt anymore. That you're mine, leave it there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing. Don't make me laugh over the
I'll come back, play a bit of this again. So we're up into a new key as well. But the thing about the way she's performed the whole song, actually, and the choruses here, is she's captured your attention and she's sustained that. The power, the belting, the intensity of the song is probably a best way to describe it. The intensity is there. She hasn't lost intensity. She's kept it up and just is sounding as brilliant as ever. And now here we go into the higher chorus, up a bit into a new key.
I have nothing. Don't make me laugh over the I don't wanna hurt anymore. That you're mine, leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk
And again, the black screen, I'm guessing, is Angelina paying homage to the late Whitney Houston. But Angelina has, again, in those last few phrases, added a few of her stylistic elements that individualise the song so brilliantly again. I will go back and play it from here.
I imagine you were there. Don't walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. I have nothing if I don't have you. You have
And what a great finish to the song as well. I've mentioned on my notes here, Angelina's last note. It's a high note, and she flips up to that high note, flips register, and gets that in such a quiet, gentle manner as well. Quite difficult to do. And Angelina's right on pitch with that, and just has the right level of intensity, which is sort of fairly quiet at that point at the end of the song. Brilliant. Again, Angelina's interpretation of the whole song was magnificent. That was another masterpiece and was so impressive, once again, of Angelina. As I said, she's such a nice person, and that shines through in all of her performances. And I look forward to the next reaction I do of another fabulous Angelina Jordan song. So hopefully this video doesn't get blocked and you're able to view it to this point, the end of my reaction. I hope you enjoyed it though. I hope you learnt something, and I hope to see you again soon on another reaction. So have a great day. From Australia, goodbye.